Oh boy, this sure is a spicy topic we got here today. The stigma behind sex work. Well, I don't know if I'm the most qualified to give an answer here. I think it is an answer that can be given by me. Um, as always, I'm Caeln. Hello. If you're subscribed, please stay subscribed. And if you like and you're not subscribed, click the button. Let's get into this. Um, so when it comes to sexual stuff and sex work, I haven't done any. The most I've done is buy an OnlyFans, a singular time, a singular month subscription. Um, and actually, it froze my bank account. That's actually really funny. Um, I I was like, hey, my friend, they need money. They have an OnlyFans. I'll, do a charitable donation for this month. There you go, and then we'll see what it is, right? The more you learn, the more you know, the more you educate yourself, the better off you'll be, right? If I hadn't made that purchase, I might not be here talking about this stuff. But anyways, I made a purchase last month of an OnlyFans subscription. The only problem I had, other than my bank account freezing itself, was it's. I mean, this is it's more of a nuanced issue, I guess. And the issue is that you pay for the subscription, and it's a base. You get the base content, and then you have to pay for more personalized stuff. Um, and it's just not. It's not an issue really. It's just I would prefer another option where you just pay for the personal stuff. Like maybe that is an option as well. I don't know. I didn't. I don't actively go on there. I I I don't really do that kind of stuff. I don't really look around that stuff too often. I'm not really a sexual type of person, if you will. I mean, for lack of better terms, I beat my meat sometimes, but I'm not out here on the grind on the phone looking for people to smash, as you'd say. Um, I think sex is something, to me, it's something you do with someone you enjoy, you like, you love, you want to have this nice intimate moment with this person, but it can also be done for therapy. It's good. You can talk with people. You can, it's in the work sense of sex work. Sex work is more beneficial than sex. It's more inclusive in what it can do for you. Not saying that normal sex. It sex work provides an easier access the um, to what sex can give you. Might not be as fulfilled, might not be as, in certain aspects, it might not be as fulfilling of a sexual experience, but you can get some relief. You can get, it's not all hee hee boobies, ha ha penis. I mean, sometimes it is, but I think a base issue with the stigma is people are just like, they have this one image that comes into their mind. You say sex work, they see this one image, and it's like a really dark image with this person doing these things, and they're like, no, that's but it's more so. I would go as far as to say sex work is more than sex, and I'm sure anyone who's watching this and does sex work will agree with me. Sex work is a lot more than just sex. I don't mean the nuances of marketing, because nowadays if you want to do anything you sort of have to market things. Marketing is kind of like hit or miss, but like, you know, I'm a person. It's whatever. But anyways, here in my script I actually read at, which I have not been following, by the way. Um, People unravel due to subject at hand being. Um, but anyways, like, I think some of the stigma can be perpetuated by the household you live in, the people you're surrounded with, the free ability of those people. What I mean by that is the people who you hang around with, their ability to be themselves freely, right? Whether it's you restricting them or them feeling like you restrict them, I mean, or whether it's them having like anxiety or panic, or I know a lot of people, like even I do, like even right now I'm having some little anxiety, but I mean it wouldn't film on a video, but it's a thing. People get anxiety, people get panicked, and I think also that sex work is a good way to sort of negate some of that. You don't have to be right there with all those people, or but I do think that sex work does allow you to be more of a intimate person while also being more reserved. It's sort of like church. You're intimate. I have, in full disclosure, I don't do sex work. I don't do church work. I don't do any work. I'm sick. I'm a person who's staying at home under the liberties of his parents and their good graces and money, and is sleeping in bed. And I slept in bed all of today. Literally all of today. From 12 yesterday evening to 7 this morning, and then from 9 this morning till 10 tonight. And then I wrote the script, and now we're at 12:30. Eating some beans. And I don't have a problem with sex work. I don't have a problem with any work. Okay, let me rephrase that before I get people saying, "You're not against slavery," or "You're not against..." Well, that's not work. That's exploitation of people, like legitimately. But I think that sex work can be stigmatized because people can have traumas. There's people who can be sodomized, people can be raped, very, very harsh terms. Sorry. People can have a not good sexual experience. I've had like a few not good experiences, but it's not important. It's not that it's not important at all. It's that those experiences for me aren't important to disclose in this video right now. Context matters, right? Let's look at this key example of context, right? "Oh, hello, would you like a kiss?" "Oh, you don't? Why don't you want this Hershey's kiss?" Right? You changed the perspective because, as you can see sometimes, some people, that is manipulation. That is coercion. That's deception and manipulation, I'd say. Well, the deception. But essentially, if you're not asking the certain question, if you're not saying things a certain way, things are skewed. And I think as sex work, in all forms, I think it's heavily implied certain times, but there's also a very nice discussion that'll occur, I think. Or a contract, or a form, or a click button, whatever, if you're online, I think. But it's, I think there's more consent that goes into sex work than normal sex. And that, honestly, I think several times I've been very upset and frustrated, like on TV or even in porn. You'll see it actually a lot of times. Coercion in porn, I hate it. The hub is very bad on that end. I would say there's just the internet's just really bad. It just makes you think that everyone's gonna be okay with everything. No, but I mean, it just gets out of hand sometimes. There's like a bunch of really, really important things you could do when you're not under the protection of being a sex worker, but also that comes to one of my only few faults with sex work is there's not a whole lot of protections there other than yourself and like whatever contract you make with the person and stuff, because at the end of the day you're still susceptible to every aspect of violence or danger that would become you otherwise. You're just, it's like you're putting yourself on a wanted sign or not, but it's like you're not putting yourself on a wanted sign, right? People will make you believe that if you're going out there, going on putting yourself on campsites, putting yourself on Pornhub, putting yourself out there, putting yourself in a prostitution, putting yourself on a stripper pole or something. You're putting yourself on a wanted sign. I very much disagree with that. No. You know, people who are going to be targeting sex workers or people or women or men or whoever, they're going to be targeting them regardless. It might make it a bit more easier for you to be targeted, but that's still not a valid reason. You know, that's like saying you should never leave your home because there's going to be a plane that crashes outside of your house. Well, okay, but by that logic, there's going to be a plane that could crash on your house when you're in it. You know, so just be safe, 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 be safe. I cannot stress that enough. Be safe. The issue there, the lies, how safe we talking? A BB gun? A 9mm? A 12 gauge? An AK? A rocket launcher? A tank? An army? A military? A planet? A solar system? A galaxy? You know, I'm talking about understanding. You know, what makes you safe? Safe is the most, I would say, subjective term nowadays, right? Personally, you know, I have a knife. I was given. This nice knife several years ago. It's a knife. It does things, but I wouldn't say I want it as a weapon. You know. I'd say I'm gonna die anyways, or I'm not gonna die. I'd say bringing a weapon into a thing would just create more death, and that's not something I want to do. It's not like, oh, if there's a filthy intruder coming into my house. It's like, no. It's like everyone should be given the chance, just like sex workers should be given the chance to be a person. Everyone's a person. There's nothing. You can't say, I'll give you 1 week as a sex worker, and if you don't choose a different job, you're awful and you're bad. No. People are people, sex work is work, and, you know, I think mainstream media has a little bit to do with the stigma. I think mainstream media is also very, you know, mom and pop about things, but again, I think that's another issue. But yeah, as always, I guess, stay safe, and drop me a comment if you want to know what's the best way to be safe. See ya.